Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? We have violence erupting in in Spain, okay? In Spain, the Catalans decided they're going to vote, and they're wanting to literally leave the country. They want to secede from Spain. They've been saying they're going to do it. They've been saying they were going to vote, and they did it, okay? But in the process of doing it, of course, the government of Spain, coming out of Barcelona, they said, no, you're not. And so here's the deal. Spanish riot police have burst into the polling stations there in Catalonia today, confiscating ballot boxes, voting papers to try to halt this banned referendum on splitting Spain in half almost, at least splitting away from Spain as Madrid asserted its authority over this rebel region. Now, police broke down doors to force entry into the voting stations as defiant Catalans shouted, "Out with the occupying forces!" And they sang the anthem of the wealthy northeastern region. In one of the incidences in Barcelona, police even fired rubber projectiles. Now, the Catalan officials have said 337 people have been injured in the clash, in the riot, in the police crackdown. Officers are using riot gear, hit people with batons, forcibly removed would-be voters, including women and the elderly, from polling stations. The referendum declared illegal by Spain's central government has thrown the nation into the worst constitutional crisis in decades and deepens a centuries-old rift between Madrid and Barcelona. Despite the police action, hundreds of strong groups of people formed by the dozens and by the hundreds in cities and villages throughout the region to cast their votes. And at one Barcelona polling station, elderly people and those with children even went in to vote. "I'm so pleased," said one, "because despite all the hurdles they've put up, I've managed to get to vote," said Teresa. She's 72 years old in Barcelona. She said she stood in line for 6 hours. The ballot will have no legal status as far as Spain's constitutional court is concerned, and Madrid is being at odds with this 1978 constitution. A minority of around 40% of the Catalans supported the independence, polls are showing, although a majority want to hold a referendum on the same issue. And the region of 7.5 million people has an economy larger than that of Portugal. However, much voting takes place. A yes result is likely, given that most of those who would support the independence did go to try to vote, while the people who are against this referendum didn't even try to go to the polls because they figured it wasn't going to matter and they didn't want to get arrested or get injured. Well, organizers say voters turned out before dawn, hoping for large crowds to be the world's first image of the voting day. "This is a great opportunity. I've waited for 80 years, said this 92-year-old Raymond Jordania, a former taxi driver who wants to vote. And wow. So the constitutional crisis is this. The people in that region want out of the... Spain is broke, busted, and disgusted. They have a high taxation on the people to try to pay for their unbelievable debt base. And so this section of the country, which is a little more wealthier, a little more working class, a little more funds, are tired of paying the incredibly high taxes to fund the rest of the country. But most of their money is going to pay debts that the nation owes other countries, especially they owe the EU and they owe the International Monetary Fund. And the interest rate's so high that basically these people are going to have to work the rest of their life to pay the debt that the other generations before them and the politicians and the corruption squandered and now left the bill for the people of Spain. And those folks are saying, we're tired of it. We want out of this. We don't even want to be in Spain. We want to be our own little country, and we'll manage our own affairs. Can you imagine that? Now, that really does sound like democracy, if you ask me. But sometimes corrupt cronyism in governments have to be held accountable. The people are demanding a change in the system, that the system is broken. And it's not just Spain, folks. Portugal, Italy, Greece, we could go on and on. The European Union is broke, busted, and disgusted. Now you know why the British got out. This is why the British never converted to the EU, to the European Union dollar, the EU, or to euros. They knew that it would drag them down, drag down their value of the British pound, and they would be left holding the bag to pay for all the other nations that mismanage their funds. And the folks there are not going to do it. And that's why you had a Brexit. Here in America, we have the president trying to do tax reform, trying to break these heavy tax burdens off of the people. And of course, the establishment doesn't want to let go easy. They lie. They're in position. They're even in the majority. But there are those establishment Republicans, along with the tax and spend Democrats, who do not want to lessen the tax burden on you, me, or anyone else. Sounds a lot like Spain. Are you saved? You better give your life to Jesus Christ, and you better put your faith in Jesus Christ, okay? All right? This is what's going on. Constitutional crisis in Spain. Folks, this is just the beginning of sorrows. These next 7 years between these two eclipses, you're going to see the one world government, the new world order, the beast, try to make its move aggressively. Are you saved?